Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for watching today. Today we are back and we have a huge package coming in from New York, as we were finally able to get in all the stuff that we shipped from New York Comic Con. And guys, this is an absolutely huge box. Check how massive this thing is right here. This has all of the figures that we picked up during the con at the Funko booth. And there were so many different figures. I want to say there were like 46, 47. It was a crazy amount. Well, I think we picked up a lot, but we did not pick up every single one. I tried to just keep it to the ones that I really wanted, rather than just trying to go for everything like we have done in the past. Because of course, you know, with so many, it's gonna be expensive. When I was in line, I saw someone who bought every single figure that they had, including all of the sodas, and it was almost $1,000 for all of them. So we didn't go quite that crazy. I think we got a lot, but I tried to stick to the stuff that I really wanted. So when we open up this, I know we think we have like about 18 or 17 pops, something like that we got. And then we also got these sodas. So I'll go ahead and start by giving you guys a look at the Funko sodas that we picked up, which by the way, we won't be opening up in this video. I'll be having another video that'll come out tomorrow for Funko Soda Saturday, showing off all of those. So the first soda that we have, which I think this is actually my favorite soda that they released, this is the Jon Stewart Green Lantern soda, limited to 9,500 pieces. This is a really awesome one. I love the Jon Stewart Green Lantern character, so I'm glad they finally got around to making a soda. I think they have just one pop of Jon Stewart, so it's cool they're now getting around to making the soda. And then they also have that small NYCC sticker on there, so cannot wait to open that up for tomorrow's video. And then the second soda that we have right here is the Phoenix from Marvel. And then this one is definitely really cool because the chase is the Dark Phoenix, limited to 8,000 pieces. There you go, have the con sticker right there as well. Definitely an awesome one that I wanted to pick up. And then next we have another Marvel character for sodas. This one is Shuri from Black Panther, limited to 10,750. A little bit of an interesting number to go with, but definitely another cool one. And then this one, I thought was really cool, but I think it's the highest piece count. It is Eric Draven from The Crow, and this is limited to 16,500 pieces. But this is definitely an awesome one. They haven't done a Crow pop in a very long time, but they have the Crow movie that should be coming out next year, I believe. So it's perfect time to grab this soda. And then the last soda we have, which is definitely one of the most anticipated for myself, up there with Jon Stewart Green Lantern. This is the Black Light Grape Ape, and this is limited to just 5,500 pieces, so I believe this is the lowest count out of all of the sodas that they have, but definitely another cool one. So once again, if you want to see us opening up these sodas, make sure you come back tomorrow for that video and check out all of the sodas that we have and see how many chases we're able to get from these con stickered sodas. Now let's get into taking a look at the pops that I picked up, which again, I picked up a ton, so this video might be a little long. Now the first couple of figures I'm going to be showing off here are ones that ended up having sticker errors. So I mentioned in my video on that day that I went to the Funko booth that I was able to talk to some of the Funko team members, and they let me know that there were a ton of errors from the factory. They're putting wrong stickers or no stickers at all on the figure, and I ended up getting two figures, unfortunately, that did not have the right sticker. So the first one that we have is still a really cool pop. It is Swampfire from Ben 10 Alien Force, and Ben 10 is a super popular show on Cartoon Network. It's not one that I watched a ton growing up, but I definitely did recognize this character here as one of the aliens that Ben transforms into, and I thought it was such a cool detail pop that I wanted to pick it up for myself. And take a look at the detail on this thing. The suit looks absolutely awesome, and there's just a ton of detail, like the fireball that he has in his hand, and the way that they make his head shaped. It actually does look pretty cool. It doesn't look like a normal pop with that squared head. So that one definitely looks awesome. And he's on a jumping sort of base. And those legs that he has kind of look like tree trunks. Man, there's a lot of detail in this one. Now this next one actually came with no sticker at all. And even when I tried to ask the Funko team if I can actually get a sticker, even if it was a shared one, they said, nope, sorry, no sticker for you. So I guess I have to deal with having no sticker, which I guess is fine because I got it for retail. This is the new Britney Spears figure. Now, I cannot remember what music video this is supposed to be based off of. It does not say it anywhere on here, but you know, Britney Spears is definitely a classic pop star for sure, and she's still around to this day, of course, being in the news earlier this year with the conservatorship and everything. But yeah, definitely a really cool one. She is in a waitress outfit there. Looks like she has a milkshake in her hand too. I wish I could remember what music video this is supposed to be from. I'm completely blanking. But now I believe the rest of these figures are going to have the correct NYCC Con sticker, which is really one of the reasons why you actually go out to the events. And this next one is actually for somebody who's at NYCC doing autographs, so I know a lot of people were able to pick this pop-up and then go ahead and get it signed. This is Steve with the handy dandy notebook from Blue's Clues. And I thought this one was such a cool one. We do have the flocked blue in the collection from Hot Topic that came out last year or earlier this year even. So I thought this was a perfect addition to that Blue's Clues line. I think this is a really awesome figure. So you have Steve there with the handy dandy notebook where he has this kind of a crayon in his hand too. He has this classic striped green shirt and those khakis. Really just throws you back to those old days, you know, when I was a kid just sitting in front of the TV and watching Blue's Clues. It's about time they made a Steve figure. Now, there were a couple figures that ended up being surprises at the event. One of them that was a semi-surprise because they announced it like 3 days before was Britney Spears. But one figure that we were able to pick up that you did not know was actually going to be there until you got to the booth on that first day was this Freddy Funko Frightmare on Fun Street Pop. So this is a really awesome one. Probably is my favorite figure out of the entire bunch. I thought this was absolutely awesome to have as a surprise. And you do see it says Frightmare on Front Street, limited 3,500 pieces. I was super surprised when they had this here because I actually saw, I think, the photo on the first day on that Thursday morning, right when we flew in, that people were actually seeing this at the booth. And then I went to the booth and I saw it there and I was so happy that they had some in stock and I was able to pick one up for myself. So we have Freddy, who actually looks pretty similar to like the Hall H Freddy they put out for San Diego Comic-Con, but I actually love this one a whole lot more. So he has an orange shirt that says Frightmare on Fun Street, and he does have a I Love New York button on him, and then he does have his bag that says Funko, where he has a bunch of stuff in there, including some different posters. Of course, that's what you're gonna have when you go to the con. Freddy looks amazing. Now, one of the music legends that is absolutely synonymous with New York City is Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. So when you come to New York Comic Con, you gotta make sure that you honor him. And Funko did honor him with his brand new golden Notorious B.I.G. with fedora. I thought this was a really cool figure. This is just another variant to an older figure. So they have on the back some of the older ones like Biggie with crown, Biggie with jersey, and then Biggie with fedora. But then they just made it all gold. And I thought that this looks so much better with the gold. And so everything is gold. His fedora, his rings, his chain, his coat, his boots, everything is gold on this figure. And at first, when I saw they were announcing this, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to look. But when I saw it in person, I definitely knew I had to grab it. Just as a fan of Notorious B.I.G., but also just how cool it looks. Now, for the past few years for New York Comic Con, I have been picking up the mascots for the convention, specifically Polly Pigeon. And at the convention, you were able to go to the NYCC official store if you had a reservation, and you're able to pick up either Pizza Rat or Polly Pigeon. Since I mostly collect Polly Pigeon, I decided to skip on Pizza Rat, and I picked up this year's Polly Pigeon, which I really like. I got the last 3, including, I think there was 2 either last year or the year before that, 2 different variations, so I ended up picking up both. But I really do enjoy this figure here. Polly was an original character that was made up a few years ago. I believe in 2019 was his first year, and every year he has a new costume. So this year he kind of more has like Giants colors, I would think. So he has that blue and red, and then his utility belt that he has around is that white with the red and blue stripes all around. And of course he has now the red mask going over his eyes. And Funko also released some amazing Star Wars pops, which you know we had to pick up as huge Star Wars fans. So I think probably a lot of people's favorites, and definitely one of my favorites as well, definitely in the top 3 for the best pops at this convention, is this Anakin Skywalker with 2 lightsabers from Attack of the Clones. Guys, just check out how cool this thing is right here. I have been waiting for them to do an Anakin pop like this. What I saw on the list initially before the glam shots came out, that there was going to be the 2 lightsabers Anakin. I thought it was going to be him from the Revenge of the Sith, where he cuts off Count Dooku's head, where he's holding his lightsaber and Dooku's lightsaber. But they ended up going with the one from Attack of the Clones, which looks really cool as well, because he's still in sort of his Padawan state before he comes over to be a Jedi Knight. And this really does look cool. So he has both the blue and the green lightsabers in his hand. The brown robes that he has on, I think, look really cool. They don't look like the regular material either, so they just kind of glisten off a little bit differently, which is awesome. And then you have the Padawan tail coming out of the back of Anakin's hair. I absolutely love this figure, love the detail in the hair and everything. Definitely one of my favorites. Now, a mostly newer character to the Star Wars universe that got introduced in Andor has been B2 Emo, and of course they had to make him into a pop as well, as Funko loves making these droids. And B2 Emo is definitely a fun character so far in the show, seeing him in there, but now as a pop, I definitely want to grab it. And he really is an interesting looking droid, the way that he kind of has his wheels on the bottom, and then he just kind of has those different compartments all throughout his body, and then he has his eye just on the top, his lens. So he does look pretty funny, where he kind of looks like he has a longer body slash neck, just sort of a rectangle on top there, but definitely a fun figure that I wanted to grab since we got all the Andor pops as well. And then another one of my favorites, which I think the 3 favorites are definitely the Freddy, the Anakin, and then there's this one, which is Roger Rabbit. And I'm an absolutely huge fan of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Might be my favorite movie of all time, you know, with that and E.T. and Back to the Future. Roger Rabbit actually might be my favorite movie of all time. I'm just absolutely in love with this, and I love Roger. He's just one of my favorite characters. And the pop here looks really awesome. It actually looks very similar to the Chase Roger Rabbit soda that they put out back in 2020. He is standing there with his arms by his side, with the kisses all over his face. I just love the smile. He has his one tooth kind of sticking out as well, with his ears just flowing behind the back of his head. He really looks hilarious, and I love this figure. And another Disney figure that we were able to pick up was Clarabelle Cow from Disney and Friends. Now, it just says Clarabelle Cow on top, doesn't say Disney and Friends, but I would assume it's supposed to be along that same line. But I really do love this pop. I'm a huge fan of Clarabelle from the Mickey Mouse shorts and everything. So when I saw that they were putting out this pop, I was super excited. And I remember this was the first leaked figure that we saw from New York Comic Con. So Clarabelle looking great. She's in her pinkish purple dress there, she's holding her hands together. She has her purple heels on. I really do love the detail, especially with her face and everything. This is a great addition to my Disney collection. And if you guys know me, I am a huge fan of The Simpsons, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And for New York Comic Con, they put out not just one, but 2 different Simpsons pops that I was super excited to pick up. And one of them was Jimbo Jones, one of the bullies. Jimbo's really the lead bully when you look at it. He is such a funny character, always just adds a little bit of extra layer to the show whenever he is in it. I really enjoy this pop. Jimbo has a mean face on. He has his left hand in a fist, looks like he's about to wail on somebody. He has his classic purple beanie and that long hair coming out the back, and that skull on his t-shirt. I think this is a really fun one. Now, one of Jimbo's friends and fellow bullies there at Springfield Elementary is Kearney, and I don't want to even attempt to try to pronounce his last name. Zwigvich, something like that. You see it. You can try it out yourself. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I have not heard it said out loud. I always just hear Kearney. I have to go back and watch the show and figure out if they say his last name. But really, Kearney is a great character as well. I love this pop too. He has his bald head, but he has the dots all over where his hair is eventually going to grow back because he just kind of shaved it off. He has those kind of spiky wrist bracelets on as well, and he has the cut up shirt and shorts to make him look a little bit more dangerous. Now, when we were going through the announcements of some of the new pops coming for New York Comic Con, there were a few that I saw that I just kind of gasped and cheered that we were finally getting the pop of this character. And one of those that I did that for was for Guy from Free Guy. This was absolutely one of my favorite movies of last year. I can't wait for the sequel. Of course, everyone loves Ryan Reynolds and everything that Sean Levy does. So now being able to see this pop come out was really, really cool. I want to have an entire line of Free Guy figures. I want multiple different guys. I want Molotov Girl. I want everybody from that movie as a pop to have in my collection because I love that movie so much. And Guy does look cool. I think this was a pop that not a lot of people were jumping for. I do not think it sold out, but it was definitely one that I wanted to get for sure. So you have Guy with his regular clothes that he wears to his job at the bank, and he has a name tag that says Guy. But in his right hand, he is holding the glasses that are special that now allow him to play a little bit of the game, but he does have a little bit of a bloody nose. So this is probably from the scene in the bank where he beats up the guy who's trying to rob the bank, and he gets it punched in the face, but then he's able to steal the glasses. And there's also a couple DC figures that we would pick up over at the con, and one of them is actually a follow-up to last year's NYCC release of Blue Superman. This is Red Superman. And I didn't think this pop was like the best in any way, but I did want to pick it up since I do have the Blue Superman in the collection, which I picked up from a comic book shop. And I thought, hey, it would be really cool to have both the Red Superman and the Blue Superman next to each other on my DC shelf. So I definitely wanted to grab this one. And it is just slightly different than the Blue Superman. I believe that the logo on the chest is just slightly different. Most of the sculpt on the body is the same. The main difference though is that he has in his hand a little bit of a different energy ball that he's using. While I think the other one just kind of has the lightning coming out of his hands, while this one kind of has like energy balls or fireballs with the lightning on the outside of it as well. Now, a pop that when I first saw it, I was really debating if I should pick it up or not. I was probably going to pass on it. But then when I saw it in person, I saw another detail. I was like, I have to have this for sure. Especially since I've been on a kick watching the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max. I definitely had to grab this. This is the Emperor Joker. This is really, really cool. And I love this one, not only for the detail on the pop because everyone loves the Joker, but also because he has that staff with a Harley Quinn head on it. I thought that was a really cool detail. You see the huge coat that he has on with all the detail on there with like the hearts and the diamonds and spades and everything on there. He has the purple crown with all the jewels on it. Joker with that big smile is creepy. And then like I said, with the stick that he has in his hand with the Harley Quinn on the end of it, I thought that was the coolest detail. And then of course at a Comic-Con, Funko has to release some Marvel figures as well. So one of the Marvel figures that we were able to get made sense for New York Comic-Con. This is from Spider-Man No Way Home, is the Statue of Liberty. Now this is one that I was really unsure of picking up at first when they had announced. I kind of thought it was a little bit weird, just kind of that static Statue of Liberty, but seeing a little bit more of the detail, plus watching Spider-Man No Way Home recently, got us a little bit more interested. And really Michaela was saying that she wanted to grab this one, and I just fell more in love with it over the time. Of course it does look like the regular Statue of Liberty, but it is all bronze instead of now looking green. So it's a brand new Statue of Liberty, and the big difference is that in the right hand of the Statue of Liberty, that she is holding Captain America's shield. And although the Statue of Liberty was never actually completed in Spider-Man No Way Home, it's still cool to see that they were able to complete it in pop form. And then we had one more Marvel figure, and this was from the upcoming show Secret Invasion. This is Nick Fury. And it's actually really interesting that they're putting out this pop pretty far in advance, because I don't think the show comes out until January or February, something like that. So the fact they're putting out this pop now kind of shows how maybe the distribution of it was changed. Maybe they changed the release date of the show and they had this planned a while ago. But now we're getting our first peek at Secret Invasion, not too far since they released the actual trailer at D23. And I think this Nick Fury pop is really cool. And it is one of the first figures that we're actually seeing that Nick Fury does not have his eye patch. And he's really more of like a spy looking outfit, because it looks like in this show he is going to be more of a spy role, trying to figure out what's happening and why the Skrulls are invading Earth. And now the final pop that we picked up from New York Comic-Con 2022 is one that I think is very nice. It is Borat. And this thing is such a fun pop. I'm glad they finally made a Borat figure, as it's been, what is it, like 15 years since Borat came out. It's such a classic comedy now, and now we got the sequel last year on Amazon. Like, they should be making more Borat pops. I would love to see more Borat figures. So we have Borat here as he just first came to America. He has the American flag in his hand. He also has his bag in his hand too as he just moved, and his kind of ugly, oversized a little bit suit that he brought with him from Kazakhstan. This is absolutely a funny pop. I love how the hair looks and everything. This is a great pop. So there's our look at all 18 different Funko Pops that we're able to pick up from New York Comic Con. Really happy with a lot of the pickups here. It was so cool actually being able to go to the convention, visit the Funko booth in person, meet some people while we were out there, and just get a lot of these pops with the con sticker, as we saw right there. Definitely one of the coolest parts. And like I mentioned earlier, I did end up shipping all of these pops back home. So we ended up getting this huge box right here from the Funko booth. They're actually right outside the Funko booth. They had a bunch of these just sitting there on the ground, so people were picking them up, and they planned on shipping their stuff back home. And as a pro tip, make sure you go to pirateship.com, as they actually have some really good discounted shipping. So at UPS, we were able to pay like 15 bucks and ship all of these figures home. And it would have been double that price if I just tried to go to UPS and ship it out just as is, or have them pack it. So we got lucky with that box. We also got lucky with, Pirate Ship. And we got some protectors while we were there at the con. We shipped some bubble wrap to the hotel we were staying at, so we came prepared, and it worked out really well to get all these pops back home in pristine condition. But now I do want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the haul that we got from New York Comic Con? What is the favorite one of yours that we showed off today? And what were some of the figures that you picked up from New York Comic Con this year? I would love to hear what your guys' haul was in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a like in this video as well. And of course, you can always hit that bell to be notified whenever we have new videos drop. And thank you guys so much for watching today. And as always, we'll see you again real soon.